What's up everybody, 40 the Broadway Saiyan here, and welcome back again to my YouTube channel, bringing you guys another video on Dissidia Final Fantasy Opera Omnia. In today's video, we're going to be taking a look at another Conquering Lufenia, this time focusing on the upcoming Lufenia fight for the Xande character event in Global Opera Omnia. But first, if you guys are brand new to the channel, be sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on that notification bell. That way you guys are not missing out on future uploads. And if you guys enjoy what you see on this channel, be sure to hit that like button and share this video as it does help me out. As always, don't forget to check out the Tonberry Troops website, in particular their resources hub where you could navigate to the Lufenia research portion of their website. Here, you will find comprehensive guides on every single Lufenia fight in Global Opera Omnia, how to deal with a specific orb, which characters are great for each of these fights, and also which abilities for the bosses to watch out for. Also, don't forget to check out fellow DFFOO content creator VL, as the footage from the Xande Lufenia fight that you are seeing on this video comes directly from his. I will be leaving the link to his full video in the video description as well as the pinned comments. Check him out, he is a fantastic content creator. Without further ado, let's go ahead and talk about Conquering Lufenia for the upcoming Xande Lufenia event in Global Opera Omnia. Alright guys, so we're going to talk about the upcoming Xande Event Lufenia. This time we're going to be facing off against two Assault Andirons, and these are going to be like those machine-like enemies that you fight from Final Fantasy VIII, and it's a variant of those. Now this Lufenia is going to be a two-wave fight, and the first wave is nothing really special. There's no orb you have to worry about. It's just going to be against an Ochu boss with its two ads. If you guys are familiar with that enemy, pretty much it likes to resummon the ads and things like that. So first wave should not be a problem, as that enemy is pretty familiar to most of you guys that have been playing. Now, once you get to actually Wave 2, which is going to be the real boss fight against the Assault Andirons, there's a few things that you want to watch out for. First of all, when you're taking a look at the orb is going to appear immediately at the start of the battle at a 20 count. Now, it's also going to be disappearing at the 79% HP threshold, and then it's going to come back at 59% and stay on there permanently. Now, the way that you could increase this orb's countdown is by dealing dark damage to the bosses, and it's going to be increasing it by 2. You also want to keep in mind that this boss is also heavily resistant to 4 specific elements, which are ice, water, wind, and holy. So keep in mind of which characters you are bringing, that they don't wield those elements because they are heavily resistant towards them. So when you are in the second wave, the first thing that you really want to watch out for is when the enemies will be gaining an invisible shield. Now, I say that this is an invisible shield because it's not actually a buff. It is kind of like an aura, and you could tell that they have the shield because they're going to have like this yellow aura around them. And while the shield is active, you won't be able to deal them any HP damage until you've fully broken the shield. And if they do act while the shield is up, they're going to cleanse all of their debuffs, and they're going to unleash a really powerful Brave, AoE Brave plus HP attack that deals damage twice, and that's probably going to KO your party. So you want to keep in mind that when you have the yellow aura up on these enemies, make sure to break those shields, because otherwise, if they take their turns, they're going to remove all the debuffs you've inflicted on them, and they're likely going to take somebody out or multiple party members out. Now, one thing to note is that while this shield is active, they are more vulnerable to taking elemental damage. So this is where, that dark damage dealer comes into play, or pretty much anybody with an element outside of the 4 heavily resisted elements. So they're going to be more vulnerable to elemental damage. Now, they also do have another aura you want to watch out for. This one is not nearly as dangerous as the yellow one, but it's the red aura. So they have a red aura that does pop up as well, and this aura lasts for 2 turns. And the way that you allow this aura to pretty much disappear is they have to take their turns, and if you have them like turn disabled, it will not work towards that. So let's say like they take their turns, they're turn disabled with like paralysis or sleep, that red aura will not go away. So they actually have to act. Now, during this phase, they're going to be spamming HP attacks a lot. So if you're going to be taking characters, for example, Vivi is going to be a very powerful character for this, but because of Vivi's Doomsday effect, where he drains the party's HP, just keep in mind to take maybe somebody that can provide some kind of like regenerative healing, like with an HP regen, or maybe somebody that has HP damage mitigation. So then that way, if you're taking somebody like that's super offensive like Vivi, who's very effective for this fight, the HP drain won't be nearly as taxing on your party. Now, as far as which characters you're going to want to take, so because dark damage is the key, obviously Xande is going to be like your best choice because he's synergy. You could also opt to take Realm if you're going to be using the Diablo summon. However, keep in mind, if you're going to be taking Realm at this point, her damage is going to start to scale fairly. It's not going to be nearly as good as it used to be, so you definitely want to take her with some characters that provide some really powerful auras or really powerful effects if you're going to be taking Realm with a Diablo summon. Now, as I stated earlier, Vivi is going to be fantastic for this, but if you are going to be using Vivi because of that red aura, be sure to take somebody that can protect your party from, either, they can mitigate HP damage, or if they can, give you some kind of like a brave region. Like, for example, Beatrix is also synergy for this because she is the current Lost Chapters character. If you have her EX and she has access to that Holy Knight's Safeguard with her HP attack command, you can actually use that to prevent the numerous HP attacks that they're going to be dealing during the red aura phase. Or you could also take Gladio because Gladio has an HP regen and he also mitigates damage as well. So there's various options. You can also take Reno, for example, because Reno's Pyramid can actually work really well for this. If you know that they're going to be, appearing with the red aura, you could use Reno's Pyramid, and then that way they won't be able to dish out any kind of damage. You can also actually take the Setzer Call. Setzer Call is actually one that can be pretty useful. You just got to time it properly because that freeze debuff will prevent them from gaining any type of brave as long as the debuff is active, and then that way, if they are going to be spamming all these different attacks, they're not going to gain any brave, and they won't be able to deal you any HP damage. So keep that in mind. Those are some great options for that. You can also take characters that provide shields, such as like Warrior of Light if you have his LD, or maybe even 9 could potentially work for this because he has a shield and he also has access to his LD, which could prevent HP damage. Now, one way that you can deal with this if you want to just focus on solely out damaging them is taking Lightning and Cloud together. As we've noticed with the recent Lufenia fight that we had with Beatrix, Lightning and Cloud together is an incredibly powerful combo to be able to damage race the orb. So you would take Lightning and Cloud, you would take Diablo Summon, so you can at least time when you're going to be summoning Diablo so the orb doesn't accidentally kill you, and then afterwards you would take maybe somebody that could like provide some good auras. Like, for example, you could take Rude for this because Rude can heal you. Rude has some really good auras. Rude has that really nice guaranteed crit with his LD effect, which could really complement Lightning and Cloud. So that's one option that you could do there. Again, if you are taking Vivi, I highly recommend that you take somebody that could protect your party, and then you can also take Lightning on top of that because Lightning just deals a lot of damage, or take Cloud because that way you can also turn delay them in the event that you're at a position where, okay, maybe turn deletion or turn delay can actually work to my favor. So as long as you're prepared to be able to deal with the shield and also know how to deal with the orb with the dark damage, it's gonna be a fairly manageable fight as long as you know what to expect and things like that. But hopefully this video helps you guys prepare for this upcoming Lufenia fight. Again, if you're unable to do it, because especially if you're a newer player, don't fret because the Lufenia high armor tokens are always available from some of the permanent Lufenia, such as from Lost Chapters and Stories. Not the end of the world, but if you guys are planning on tackling it, these are going to be the details for this particular fight. This is 40 the Broadway Saiyan. Thank you again for watching. Stay tuned for my next video, and mahal, guys.